I am Angel Salah, and this is my hair channel. If you're interested in this style, please continue watching.
Hey you guys, what I'm doing here is I'm braiding down my foundation. If you want to do any type of quick weave hairstyle, you have to have a foundation. The foundation of my choice in this style was a side braid. Normally I do a side braid, but I flat iron my hair or try to straighten it out with a blow dryer, and I didn't do it this time because I was pressed for time. So I'm having a tough time here trying to braid my hair and get it flat because it's kind of nappy and not straightened out. But the purpose of a foundation is to mold your natural hair down and protect your hair. Right now, I'm going through some things with my edges. They're kind of light. I think it's because of all of the braiding that I have been doing, and I want to do a style that will protect my edges. So I mean, I could have sewn this style down, but I chose to glue it because I was really pressed for time. You got to get it flat. I underbraided this. Now I'm using protectant. This is hair protectant, quick weave protectant. I'm quite sure you guys have seen this in the stores. I went ahead and I applied it all over my head off of camera. That stuff, it gets quite sticky if you're not careful. So I would advise you guys to work with small amounts at a time so that it won't get so messy. I'm trying my best to mold down my hair to get it as flat as possible. That's the key. And the key to the hair protectant is it has to be completely dry. Because if it's not completely dry, I don't think that the glue would actually stick. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think the glue would stick. So this section here is kind of lumpy. So I'm just trying my best to make sure that it is flat because I don't want, you know, that bump to show on my quick weave. I'm going to be doing this for a couple of seconds. Well, actually, it's going to be a couple of seconds in this video, but I was molding my hair down for quite some time. I'm trying to protect it because, like I said, my edges are very thin right now. I'm going to grow them back. So if you guys know something that I can use, please comment and let me know. Right now, I'm going to use the Rapid paper. I'm quite sure you guys seen this in the beauty supply store and sometimes in the barber salon. I'm going to wrap it around my edges to protect my edges. And I'm going to be spraying Got to be freeze spray to seal that down and make sure that it won't come up. You guys have to make sure that the Got to be is like sealed completely. Make sure it's dry and it should stick down. I'm going to use a stocking cap over top to have some extra protection for my hair. And I'm going to mold it down with Gots to Be. The reason why I'm molding it down with Gots to Be is because I don't want any harsh products on my hair. And I'm not really trying to make it stuck. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make it stick a little bit. I'm using needle and thread, and I am going to secure around the perimeter of my head so that I can make sure that this is on. It won't come off. It's going to be on. I'm sewing it around the perimeter to seal it in. I have the wrapping paper, and I have like the stocking cap on it, so I have like two separate things on it to secure it. And the stocking cap is kind of thin, but the paper around my edges will work. And the only part that will probably get a little glue is probably the top portion of my hair. And with this, the protectant all you have to do is just wet your hair and it'll come straight off. No glue, no excess, anything would be on your hair by using that, the weave protectant. It's really, really good. I've never seen a product like it. I would advise you guys to go out and purchase that because that's something that I have to keep in my hair product lines. I'm just gonna go ahead and secure the perimeter. Like I said, you have to make sure that this portion is secured. I'm using 2 packs of Premium Now 10 inches for this hairstyle, and I will glue only from ear to ear. I will not glue at the edge part of my head. I will not do that. I am aligning the glue across the top portion of the track. The reason why I don't put tracks at the nape part of my hair is because to me it's just stupid. I'm having a bob, so I want my hair to be cut right and I want it to lay right, and I don't want any hair at the edge part of my head. Like, it's a bob, for Christ's sake. I want some breeze. So when the wind blows, like the edge part of my edges and the back part of my hair can get some air because this hairstyle is really, really hot. And I live in Miami. In Miami, for the winter time, it does not get as cold as a lot of cities and states upstate. So I'm just going to continue to align my tracks from ear to ear up until I get to the front portion of the hair. It is very important that you guys press the tracks in. I do not cut my stocking cap at this point. I don't. But if you would like to, right now should be the time. The reason being why I don't cut my stocking cap in the front is because I want to make sure that I glue all of my tracks in properly. So when I actually glue them in properly, I don't glue the edges of the of the of the I mean I don't I don't glue the edges because I want the hair to fall freely and get a little bit of air. So when I actually cut the stocking cap, it will loosen up around the edge and it will shrink. So wherever I have a track at, the stocking cap will eventually slide up to, so I can get like some breeze. I've learned this method just by being in a hot city and wearing this style because a bang can be really like aggravating when you're hot. So this is how I wear this style when it's in Miami, period. I won't be putting in tracks at the moment in the front. I just like to make sure that the whole back is laying right and glued right, and I work my way from the back towards the front. I don't like a lot of hair in my front bang. So if you continue watching, you will see how I place all of the tracks. I measure the hair before I cut. That's a very important key. You would want to measure the hair towards the area in which you want to lay the track down, and then you will cut it, and then you would apply the glue, and then you would press it in to the cap. I cut up a lot of pieces of hair when I'm doing this style because I don't like a bulky bang, and I don't like a bulky bob. Like the back part, some people have a lot of hair in the back part, and I feel like it's unnatural, and I don't prefer mines like that. So I just continue to cut up the tracks, and once I cut up the tracks, the hair will fall properly. I place the tracks probably like an inch away, especially when I'm getting up top. Like, I don't like to, clutter the tracks on top of each other because I don't like the hair too thick. And that's just the bottom line. I just don't. I like a natural, more flowy type of bob. I don't like the thick, thing going on. So I would just like cut as I go, and that's basically what I'm doing. You want to try to make the back um you want to get the back in good before you start towards the front. I like to make sure the whole back is almost complete so that I can focus on the top portion of my hair and then the bang. So I would line up the circular part. Well, now I'm cutting it. You would just cut the excess thick part of the band on the stocking cap, and then the rest will fall. It will eventually shrink all the way up to like the edge part so that you can get some sort of breeze when your hair is when the wind blows, you'll get some breeze up under there, because it, like I said, this hairstyle is like really really hot, especially if it's in the summertime or any time in Miami that the sun is out. Oh my gosh, it will be so sweaty up under someone's bang. And like, this style is just lightweight this way, so I prefer it this way. Now I'm just gonna apply the tracks. I'm going to all over the front area, but it's going to be like half an inch or maybe even an inch apart, because I don't like a lot of hair in the top. Like I said, I just don't. And I think it's unnatural. It's enough that you have weave, so, well, I have weave. I just don't want it to be all thick and stuff. I want it to be right. So I will glue the top portion just like so in the front, and this is going to make up my bang. Now I'm going to focus towards the sides. I'm going to measure the sides, and I'm going to glue the sides so that I can make the circle as small as possible. And I'm working in the top and on the sides. I have a nice round circle there, you guys. That's the key. You want to make sure this is in circular motion. I took a long piece of track, and now I am gluing it around in the circular position to close up this hole here. I will not be doing my closure this way. I will do my closure by hand. But I am closing it up to make it small, because I'm about to wrap up this hairstyle. This is like a 30-minute hairstyle. You want to make sure that, everything is kind of like flattened out so that you won't have any lumps or bumps. Straighten it out, sis. Straighten it out. I will be making my closing piece. I took a small portion of hair, I cut it. Now I am gluing it, and I will be rolling it up from the track area all the way to the end part of the track area of this piece that I cut to make my closure. You see that, you guys? The closure. The closure part, you want to make sure that it's glued together and it's dry, because you would be using the flat iron to flatten this thing out. But right now, this is the most important part. You want to make sure that it's dry so that it can become a closure part, and when you're trying to flatten it out, it don't come apart. So now I'm flattening it out with my fingers. I'm trying to go get all the way to the center part of this area so that I can use the flat iron to flatten it out. You want to have that as flat as possible because you want to stick it directly in the hole. This part may take some time because you want to make sure that it's flat. And you still may have to go over it when you glue it down with the blow dryer and like freeze spray, but make sure you use some sort of heat protectant because you don't want white residue at the top portion. Um, I'm gluing this hole so that I can poke the closure into this hole, and that's how I make my closure. I use heat to make it flat, and I will go over this, you know, from time to time to make sure that it's flattened out the way that I want it to be, because this portion is very, very, very key to this style. I with this bang, the bang is like the most important part. The key to this to me is to cut out a triangle. Well, part out a triangle in the bang. You don't want to part too wide, and you don't want to part too close together either. You want to make sure that it's directly in the front and that it's like a triangle shape towards the front, and you want to comb it out, make it nice and straight, and you want to put it towards your nose, down towards your nose, and you can cut it like the bridge of your nose or at the tip of your nose, depending how your nose sits. But I cut the bridge. I measure it towards the bridge of my nose. The reason being is because you don't want to make any mistakes. Um, you want to cut it as long as possible, because you can always go in and cut it to your liking, but you don't want to just chop it off, because I've seen people with the choppy bang and it's too short sometimes, and sometimes people enjoy it like that, but if you enjoy it like that, you can cut it shorter. I don't like it like that particularly. I like it kind of like over my forehead, falling kind of like a little bit into my eye, if I should say. I don't know why I like my bangs like that, but I just do. I like really, really low bangs. And I will be going into this bang, and I will be trimming and flat ironing and cutting this bang to my liking. Like I said, you guys take your time with this portion and with this part, and it should come out nicely. For the back, I will be using a rubber band to put the back portion in a ponytail. This is how I cut the back portion of my bob. I comb it out really nice and I put it into a tight ponytail. And I don't cut directly at the rubber band, but I give it a couple of inches and I cut the ponytail off of the rubber band. You don't want to pull so tight because it will affect the way that the hair would fall. So you would want to cut it directly in the back. Cut it directly even towards the back, and it should fall for the most part correctly. And you would have to probably turn to the side and trim, to even it out. But you'll have a nice bob, and you won't have to continuously just try to cut it yourself. And this is just like the easiest method. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna flat iron every single track. Like you see, like I'm just parting out this track. I would do this all along the whole head to make it bone straight and to make it fall nicely how it should fall. See, I'm going in again and I'm cutting some of this excess hairs that I didn't get for the first time in. That's what you guys should do. You guys should cut in baby steps, and that way you won't have any mistakes. And because this glue, I mean, even though you can wash it out, you don't want to waste hair and stuff like that. You want to do it right the first time. So cut in portions. Don't get too scissor happy. At this point, I'm just taking the comb and aligning to see what hair is out of place, and I would cut that off. Anything that looks out of place and longer than what it should be needs to go. So I'm just trimming up, doing the finishing touches to this style. Um, this is a style that you can in the back as well. This is something very important. In the back, I line my finger to see the to correct the length in the back, because you can tell if there's a like hair out of place. So I'm just aligning it to my neck, feeling for the hair and cutting it off. You guys should just go along with what I'm doing and try to perfect this bob. Make sure that all of the hair is completely cut and not sticking out or poking out. But each and every row should be flat ironed for perfection. I'm gonna flat iron it and continue to clip. And you guys, if you like this style, you should recreate it. Just plain and simple. Just recreate the style and let me know how it works for you.